giant blue bridge over the, I don't know, is that the Niagara River?
To plan our routes, we've been using two different apps. So one's specifically for RV travel. The other one is Google Maps. And they don't necessarily confer with one another.
So we're in the middle of a 10-hour drive and we're pulled over. It's pouring rain outside, and this is the cool thing about RV travel, right? So lunch is cooking, pasta and some vegetables. Homeschool is happening.
Trouble is brewing.
Trouble is brewing. Keen's just finishing up his math. And our driver is snuggling with my middle daughter back here, having a little brain break. So we're in the middle of this big truck.
Give me some time.
We can all just stop and take a pause, and I can hear the rain up on the roof. Very cool.
The RV app has rerouted us from what Google Maps would have sent us on based on height weight requirements.
So this one is purple. See where we are. We are in Chicago, up on a big bridge. We're actually entering Chicago. We are in the heart of Chicago at the moment, and the roads are just like this mousetrap game of like pussy crossings. They're doing their math homework. We're in the parking lot of a cooperative food mart, and I'm just about to make dinner. It was over 100 degrees out most of today, so we actually ended up at the movie theater just trying to beat the heat and find some air conditioning. Shortly after dinner, we discovered that we had a pretty good gas leak.
All right, so here we are, and there's the leak. Doesn't make for a very exciting video. It was dripping out. Oh, still there you go. Got to see a little bit of the rip. Think some more is gonna come? Yeah. Not beautiful.
We decided to check into a hotel, and we dropped the RV off at a nearby mechanic shop. There's our gas leak right there.
Sweat. They're wet, Mom.
Yeah, they need drying some.
They are trapped spirits. Marilyn sits on this bench to absorb power from them. That's why it's called Marilyn's bench. Duh. Red! Oh. Come on, Biscuit. Brown.
Ah.
Brown. What? Red. Oh, red. Orange. Orange. You should ask and
Keaton,
then run.
white.
White. You gotta go around the post, bitch. You told him.
Ah.
You told him, Peter.
Oh.
Look, we're gonna go up here. Mom, watch this. We're gonna go from the ground all the way to here.
So this is our 4th night and 5th day in Janesville, Wisconsin. And we are waiting for the RV to get fixed today. We're hoping to be back in it tonight and on the road tomorrow morning. So we are at the park. Ted's reading and I'm doing some crochet, and the kids are playing on the playground. We were at the library a little bit earlier today. They had actually a whole section of books you could buy for like 50 cents. So we've stocked up on books for the next month or so in the RV. And we're just killing time, waiting to get back on the road. Hi.
Hopefully we'll get on the road today if we get a call soon.
Tiny crack.
It looks like a little tiny pinhole, and that's the amount it was leaking, but
It seemed like it was coming out so fast though. Like, is all of that just from that one little pinhole?
This is just from it seeping. But yeah, I mean,
oh my.
It was a very minor leak in my opinion, because if it was any bigger, it would just run, gasoline's so thin, it would have just ran right out of there. So literally nothing.
I was
nothing
surprised to
really
see how much it was dripping though.
Yeah,
Like
well, it left a gallon about for between Friday and Monday.
Okay.
So it's not, you know,
Not for nothing.
not too much.
We are super thankful to Al at Al's Diesel, who double timed our job and got us a gas tank really quick. And he also showed us that we have air suspension tanks that we can fill up underneath the RV. Great tip. We're collecting our RV. There she is, healthy and happy again. Mississippi River! And more Mississippi River! Minnesota welcomes you! We've been really enjoying this app called Harvest Host, which is something like Airbnb for RV travelers. You can call ahead and stay on people's properties. They have museums and wineries and breweries. So we've been able to find some really cool places to stay. This is a museum of some old Fort Belmont from the 1800s. You can see a teepee over there and a little watchtower. And our wonderful guest came and gave us kind of a story of the history of the place. It was pretty great. So this is where we're staying tonight. Fort Belmont. The museum opens in the morning and then we'll have a look. The next morning, our host and tour guide, Ken, gave us an amazing 3-hour tour of all the different sites that they have there and all the artifacts they've collected from the 1800s and 1900s. It was really inspiring to hear all about the lifestyle back then.
For this section, if you look outside, you can see like the bearskin wolf.
What are you supposed to do?
So you're supposed to like throw it up and it's supposed to go in there like that. Miss Emily had one of these.
Can you do it?
It's super hard, but I've done it before.
What's the object?
It's a little ball, and you're supposed to try and keep it going for as long as you can. I've seen one of these. Yeah, ready? 3.
Ready?
Next after him? I'm after him. I asked him first.
A lot of respiratory problems because of mold.
Really stay wet.
Wintertime was probably one of the nicer times because everything dried up. So.
Dad, this book teaches the alphabet. See?
How'd you like to live in this house?
I did in this house. A, B, C, D, E, I just want to own fur. H, I, J, K,
Yeah, that's a horsehair robe.
So they would start with a house like this and then try to collect resources.
So like the Leisgard family, they lived in a sod house like this one for 3 years, and then they I don't know if they finally got enough money or whatever, but then they built that middle section of the farmhouse.
Okay.
So this is an old forge. There's the anvil for shaping. Got lots of old tools and implements from the 1900s.
You're going the wrong way.
I want to try next. I can lift him. Can you lift me?
And you notice on the top, as you're cranking, it keeps ratcheting around and keeps turning the drill bit down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let
So then
me
you have to pull
try.
it up at the top.
Let me try.
Rowan, look over here.
Hi.
The grain would go in here like the oats or the wheat or corn, and then it goes in between the two stones. They get ground in a flour or corn mill, and it would come down the chute, and then they would sack it down there.
Watch your fingers, honey.
Look at the way the grass moves. Just like water. It's flowing in the breeze.
A truck towing a truck, towing a truck, towing a truck. Our next stop today is also at another Harvest Host site. It is Wayne Porter's sculpture farm. So we're going to go see these giant metal sculptures that are taller than us. This is the entrance to the sculpture park that we are going to see. It's definitely in the middle of nowhere. There's some cows off in the distance. Gravel road into nowhere. It was nice to meet Wayne, and his sculptures were really inspiring and super creative. Unfortunately, about an hour after we got there, Rowan left her purse open and went running in the prairie, and she lost her Omnipod receiver, which is the little computer that manages her insulin pump. So most of the time here was spent searching through the prairie grass trying to find the Omnipod pump. Unfortunately, we weren't able to find it, and so we think maybe now one of the prairie dogs is the proud new owner of an insulin pump receiver. For better or for worse, we are making tracks and moving our way on to South Dakota. See you soon, everybody.
Oh, South Dakota.
We are about 300 miles away from Mount Rushmore, so we'll be there in a couple of hours.
250